Hi, I'm Tim Buchanan, and I want to thank you for taking a minute to look at these excerpts from our great new training series, The Mindset of Highly Effective Teams. Enjoy. Now, we all think that decisions are made with the prefrontal cortex and that we're very rational beings. But the reality is that through these events and further study, they found that when people could not process emotions, they couldn't make decisions. And so we call that an emotional energy that is something that you have to manage and something that you have to be very careful with. And as we begin to look at the mindset of highly effective teams, fall into the trap where they just focus on the fear. And I've worked on teams like that, and I've consulted on teams like that, and that fearful person becomes someone who drives the whole discussion because everything is constantly surrounded about the obstacles that they're going to face. Well, what if this happens? Well, this won't be just right. Well, we can't do this. And before we make a move, we have to be sure this is okay. And all it looks at, obstacles, obstacles, obstacles. And an effective team cannot function if they're paralyzed with fear or they're being controlled by someone that's paralyzed with fear. So how do you deal with that fear in the team environment? Well, first you can't allow yourself as an individual or as a team to function in a mode in which you're always looking at the weaknesses. You have to begin to work on belief. And belief is defined this way. Belief is the ability to accomplish something despite imperfections. It creates confidence, which is another natural source of emotional energy. Now, hear carefully what we just said, is that belief functions even though it knows there are some deficiencies there. Arrogance says, well, I'm perfect. But highly effective teams are also developing the proficiencies they're going to need for challenges and opportunities that are yet to come their way. So let's get to our discussion questions and spend the rest of the time that you have dividing it between these 4 discussion questions. Here's the first one. Do you personally feel there are some areas you would like more training in? It's really important that And now let's look at our final discussion question for this workshop. What are some effective methods your team can use to strengthen relationships with other groups in the company? You put together a list in the last discussion time, and now I want you to take that and begin to identify ways that you can not just establish those relationships, but that you can strengthen them, that you can make them strong relationships of integrity. I've enjoyed my time with you.